Hey, what's up? Ron here. Welcome to TimeWalkTV. I hope you're all having a great day today. If you're new here, we post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday all about Magic the Gathering. So if you want to keep up with all my videos and watch some more Magic, click that little red subscribe button down below. So today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite archetypes, one of my favorite decks, Esper Control. Now I know you're saying a lot of people don't really like Esper Control, or they just don't like Esper because Teferi is ruining your games and ruining your life, and just it's just terrible. But Control is one of my favorite archetypes in Magic. I started off with, the red deck wins to learn the game, and then once I found out about blue and counter spells and draw spells, well, I just got addicted from there. So Control is one of my favorites. Even going back to Return to Ravnica when we had Sphinx's Revelation and Elixir of Immortality, and it was strictly a land go style control deck, is what I really love to play. So we're going to try something similar, but this one is more Planeswalker focused because of War of the Spark and all the new Planeswalkers they added. So we're going to try this control deck and just see if we can get some wins with it. Alright, welcome into Arena. We have our Esper Control deck loaded up, ready to go. So let's go ahead and take a look at what makes this deck really, really awesome, at least in my mind. So we have Search for Escanta, one of the best control cards printed in quite a while, actually. It's actually found its way into Modern. It's really, really good, and I see this actually coming back in Modern because of the recent ban and restricted announcements, but more on that later. Legion's End, really good against small creatures. It can even be a 2-for-1 if you can get one out of their hand, and it's really good against, the zombies that Bant Scapeshift and other Field of the Dead decks are making. Although Rampaging Ferocodon might have something to say about those decks. But we have Thought Erasure, the mainstay to these Esper Control decks. Basically a Thoughtseize with Surveil on it. Pretty standard there. Now I'm running one Finale of Revelation because, well, I love Sphinx's Revelation and I like these draw X type spells. So I'm going to add one. We don't want to see it early or mid game. We want to see it more in the late game when we have a bunch of lands and we're established and we're looking for something to build our hand back up and kind of close out the game from there. And it has the added benefit that if you draw 10 cards with it, you get to untap 5 lands. So I don't know if that'll ever happen, but if we get to draw 4 or 5 off of it, I think it'll be a win and it'll be, something to close the game out. So we'll try that instead of like the Drawn Through Dreams or, Chemist's Insight or something like that. We have Narset Parter Avails, Teferi Time Raveler. Don't really like it, but we're going to play it because it's the best card in Standard right now, to be honest. 4 Oath of Kaya's. We want to gain that life. We want to deal some damage. And we get to pick it back up with Teferi, so, why not? Now, Vraska's Attempt is a card that we haven't seen in quite a while, but it's still a super powerful card. It exiles target creature or planeswalker and you're gaining 2 life. Now, the gaining life is more going towards the Command the Dreadhorde that we have in the deck, because we have Oath of Kaz to gain us life, we have Vraska's Attempts to gain us life. I don't think anything else gains us life in this deck, but we want to gain a bunch of life. We want to bolster that because it helps us against the aggro decks and helps us to cast Command the Dreadhorde for a lot of mana, or a lot of converted mana cost, I guess you could say. So definitely excited to try this card out. I haven't tried it in quite a while because these decks go so wide so fast. Just singling out one thing to kill doesn't really sit well sometimes, but hey, we'll try it. It's able to kill opposing Teferis and Narsets, so that's something to try here. Now, the original list that I had only ran 3 Kaya's Wrath, but I bumped up to 4. A lot of these decks are just going as wide and as fast as possible, and having 4 might just be what we need to wipe the board, and then if they build back up in 1 or 2 turns, we can Wrath it again and really, set the pace for our deck and not the opponent's deck. We also have 3 Teferi Hero of Dominaria, another standout card. Super good. Not much else to say about it. It's kind of been annoying for a very long time, just like the 3-mana Teferi. This one does rotate in the fall, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. You're not going to have to play against that Teferi, come rotation. We have a Liliana Dreadhorde General. Super good top end card. I really like this card. Hasn't really seen play since M20 came out because everything kind of switched up when Field of the Dead, came onto the scene. So really excited to try this one out again. I've kind of tossed it in a few decks more recently, but I think this is where it will shine the most because you can plus and close the game out that way, and you just get to draw a bunch of cards, which is cool. And last but not least, Command the Dread Horde is kind of our over the top something card. It's always going to be something. You cast it and maybe you bring back a couple creatures or a couple planeswalkers. You deal yourself 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage maybe. We want to gain as much life as we can through Oath of Kaya and Vraska's Contempt, so to make sure that our health total is bolstered enough so that command doesn't kill us. And sometimes a command on 6 can really just win you the game on the spot. So we're really going to try to make this work. Not completely set on it, but we do need something to kind of go over the top since everybody else is trying to go over the top of us, even though we're the control deck. Just taking a look at this pretty big sideboard that I put together. Kind of 1s and 2s all over the place. I like a really diversified sideboard, especially for control decks, because you really don't know what you're going to run into, and since you're the control deck, you got to be ready for anything. So we have 2 Duress, 2 Devout Decree, the 4th Legion's End in the board, 1 Dovin's Veto, 1 D-Spark, 1 Rule of Law, which is a little weird. I know you're not used to seeing it probably, but in some games it's really crucial so that your opponents are only playing 1 spell a turn instead of multiple spells, because when we get into the late game, you wipe their board, and sometimes they play 2, 3, or 4 spells to build their board back up. If you can hold them to just 1 spell a turn, then you might be able to, have your Teferi take over the game, or your Liliana or something along those lines. Cry of the Carnarium for the, the little tiny decks. I'm running 3 on Mordigos because of the Field of the Dead style decks, because they're super hard to beat with this deck, because we only have 4 rats and a couple of Legion's Ends. I mean, we have the full playset of Legion's End, but even that, we're not killing their lands, so eventually we're going to run out of removal. They're going to keep playing lands, getting more tokens, and then we're going to get buried that way. So we'll try these out. They could be good in other matchups. We don't know. Ixalan's Binding makes sure they don't play a certain card, and 2 Lyra Dawnbringers for the aggressive matchups. I know 5-drop for the aggressive matchup seems weird, but when you combine it with Oath of Kaya and Vraska's Contempt into Lyra, then you kind of can take over the game from there. So that's the deck. I hope you will enjoy this one. I know Control is not everybody's most favorite deck, but it's definitely mine. So let's go ahead and jump into games right now. All right, welcome into round number 1, game number 1. Just take a look at our hand, see what we got here. Looks like we have our shock land with 2 buddy lands and a bunch of spells to play with them. So definitely going to keep this card. We have 2, 3, and possibly 4 if we draw another white source. So let's go ahead and keep this. And we are on the play, so we get to play our shock land first. That way our buddy lands here will come into play untapped. And probably Thought Erasure into Narset. Take away their threat and then start gaining card advantage that way. So hopefully we draw a land. We have 27 lands in the deck, so most likely we're going to be drawing more lands in the next few turns. So hopefully we draw some. So that's good. Let's go with Thought Erasure, see what they're working with. I was thinking about Search for Azcanta, but usually on the play it's better to get Thought Erasure out first to kind of cut them off from what they're doing. So the main thing we want to probably take away from here is their 1-drop, since we don't have any removal. Although next turn they get to play Sailor, and then we play Narset, and then they play Brineborn Cutthroat. Maybe we just take Sailor. Nightpack Ambusher is actually pretty good, so I'm going to take Nightpack Ambusher. That's super good. We're going to leave that on top because that can kill the Cutthroat or the Sailor. Most likely they're going to play Sailor this turn, so we'll just play our Narset because Legion's End and Kaya's Wrath are both sorceries. So there's the Cutthroat. -2 going on to 3, and I guess we'll take a Teferi. Want to stay on the low CMC cost right now just because we're a little light on lands, but we do have a ton of action, so looking pretty good. We have double white, double black, so if they want to play another creature, which they probably won't, but we could take a look at their hand here. I think that's probably the play. We don't have any creatures, so Essence Scatter is basically dead. Let's Legions end their creature, see what their other card is in their hand. Whether or not they keep it in their hand or play it, considering, you know, if it's another Cutthroat, then it doesn't matter. Alright, good. So they have Essence Scatter, Opt, and Sailor. So they'll be able to Sailor and Opt this turn, which means Narset's going to bite the dust. That's okay. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because we do have Teferi and we have a good cleanup spell too. So we're looking pretty good so far against the old blue-green flash deck. Now they are 2 cards deeper than before, so not sure what they have. Because they shocked, I am assuming that it is a Night Pack Ambusher. That's just what I'm thinking. But I guess we'll see. So anyway, search found us a Hollowed Felon that I don't really want, because we don't really need a land. We have a land in hand, and this we're going to flip pretty soon, I hope. Maybe we just bounce the Spectral Sailor, possibly. Let's scry and see what we see on top first, and then we can make our decision from there. A land. Well, let's put the land at the bottom because we get to see their top card next turn with search. Actually, let's just Teferi will bounce the Sailor. They'll probably play Night Pack Ambusher and then swing it to Teferi, and then we'll be able to Kaya's Wrath after that. So let's bounce the Sailor. We'll be able to draw a card as well. Okay, so they just shocked in so they could draw a card with Sailor. So that's super good for us because now they have nothing on board and we still have a Teferi. So they have Essence Scatter, Sailor. So they're playing Sailor on our turn, or their turn, instead of flashing it in. That's interesting. 3 cards, I don't know what they are. Okay, there's the Night Pack Ambusher. Okay, so they wanted to play all those spells because I was tapped out. That's the reason they played them on their turn instead of mine. But it's kind of backfire on them because we have a Wrath effect, which kind of stinks, but they made the correct play, I think, because once we're tapped out, they don't know if we have counter spells or not. So when a control deck's tapped out, it's good practice to at least get your stuff on the table instead of kind of running headfirst into a counterspell when you can kind of avoid that too. So let's see. Let's get rid of red and black creatures. We don't want that. Do we have? We don't have much for this matchup, do we? We could try the Rule of Law, see how that does. I can see cutting some Teferis too for maybe a Duress. Duress actually doesn't seem too bad just because, yeah, I'm going to cut some Teferis here. I think, yeah, Duress seems good. Maybe Dovin's Veto. I don't know how many counter spells they bring in. I definitely want all my spot removal. We'll leave just these 3 in because they do have a lot of small creatures. I think the only big creature they have is Night Pack Ambusher. I don't think we want to command the Dreadhorde. That's not really what we're trying to do. Let's just keep it at that. We're going to sideboard less so that we can keep our core part of the deck together. Because if you start over sideboarding, then your deck fundamentally changes, and it's not the deck that you initially made, and it's kind of just a mismatch of crazy different cards, and it might not work properly. But let's see what we got. We have the old mono 4-drops, but we do have double temple, so I think we'll keep actually because we have double temple, and we can kind of find our way into these spells. So that's pretty good. Let's scry, because we're going to shock next turn and do this. We do not want the third temple. I do like having these temples over the isolated chapels, personally. I think this is a good change, because you want this extra deck manipulation, because the deck lacks in actual draw card spells. Yo! The old Veil of Autumn trick, or Veil of Summer. Okay. Okay, I can respect that. Well, we're going to scry again here. Looking for, yep, removal is good. Removal is good. Kind of push through their counter spells. They're not really doing anything right now. They might play a Cutthroat. Yep. Okay. What else do they got here? Flash deck is always scary because everything has instant speed, so it happens on our turn. Little Teferi kind of beats that. Let's play a land, so if they have a Spell Pierce, that we can actually pay for the Spell Pierce. I'm guessing they'll have a negate or like a Night Pack Ambusher. They're either going to protect this or they'll have a spell to play. I don't think that's the correct play to do. Okay. I guess regardless if they played it, then it's gonna get eaten up anyway because it kills everything with the same name. They could have just Frilled Mystic'd it if they really wanted to. I'm not sure why they didn't actually. Then they would have saved their Cutthroat. I don't know, it's just very strange. Alright, so they have Frilled Mystic, so they're gonna counter our next spell. I think we force them into doing the Frilled Mystic. And probably on their turn too, so this might work out with Vraska's Contempt, because on their turn we can try to kill the Trickster and get the Frilled Mystic out of their hand. We're gonna take 2 here. We're gonna use our life as a resource. There's a big thing when you're playing control decks. You also want to utilize your life total as a resource, not just your mana and your spells and such, like stuff like that. If you utilize your life total, then that. Oh my gosh, they did have the Spell Pierce. Yikes! Yikes! Well, let's get that Frilled Mystic out of their hand, and then we will cast Kaya's Wrath. Now they are going to hit us 2/7, but we can use the Kaya's Wrath, and then hopefully they did not draw a counter spell, and we'll be right in there. So there's actually the 6 now. Play land so that we don't get Spell Pierced again. Draw a card. Yep. All right. So we're still in it. We're still in it. Do they have a Cutthroat? They do. Yikes. Okay. 5, 6. We have 6 mana. Let's try to Oath of Kaya this. Be very good if we were able to kill their Cutthroat and go to 7. Veil of Summer. Yikes. Well, we are still live. If they play another spell, I think we're dead. Okay, so there is the 3 damage, and we are going to 1. Oh boy. We need something off the top. Not that. Also not that. Play land and hold our breath. What do you got? Opponent, please. Minus? What do you got for me? Okay. Maybe they have like a Night Pack Ambusher. Oh, I knew it. Dirty Rotten, you got me. Okay. Okay, alright. I could pick up what you're putting down here. Oh, what to do, what to do. What to do. Probably just run it back. Maybe, why did I take a Teferi out there, a flash deck? Yikes. I'm going to take out the finale. Alright, this looks super solid. As long as we can get off to a pretty good start, I think we win the game. Especially when we have Teferi out, because then they have to play everything on their main phase and not during my main phase, and it just feels great. Teferi? Well, let's see. Because we have a temple, I think I'm going to keep it. Super risky. I wouldn't recommend doing something like this. Okay, I'm just going to stop messing around and try to get to my Time Raveler as soon as possible here, because we are in a bit of a pickle now because I kept a 5-lander. Okay, no threat yet. We're still in it. What do you got, opponent? Plays a second island, passes. Alright, so we'll keep playing our tap lands here. A third island and passes. I will pass as well because I have double Vraska's Contempt. The triple island and pass. So they've missed a land drop and I can't play their Night Pack Ambusher because they have no green mana. And I keep drawing lands, non-stop lands. Well, I have 27 lands, so you know that's going to happen. Narset's good. Well, let's tap our blue, and white. We want to keep our double black open. Not sure why yet, but I'd like to do that. Counter spell. Ooh, they got me. Man, this is why I hate the flash deck. They get to play counter spells. They don't even care that I have Teferis. If only I could get a Teferi in play. Oh, there's the green mana. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my goodness. We are crushing it with land drops though. I love playing lands, so I can't say that I'm disappointed, but my goodness, can we really draw the lands today? And this is the game that I took out the Hour of Revelation. Yep. Got him. Cutthroat. Die. Get him. Gosh, why do they always have Veil of Summer? I swear they had like 2 or 3 of them last game and they have this one right on cue. They must run 4. They have to run 4 if they're having them this often, right? Gosh, darn it, that's annoying. Land. Oath of Kaya. What do you got for me? Frilled Mystic. Sure. Very sure. Yep, that resolves. Counter my oath, and we will attempt to Kaya's Wrath you. With Spell Pierce mana backup, unless you have a negate. Pay 2. Now you have a second Spell Pierce? You dirty rotten you. Oh my goodness. What is this deck? What? Come on, man. Unfair. Kill all your stuff. I really should have done that first, probably. Kill that guy. We did it. We killed the dude. Whew. Alright. We're not dead yet. And I emphasize the yet because we're probably dead. Yikes. Can't find a Teferi. Oh, yep. Counter me. You didn't have to counter last time. Oh, man. We just ran into the worst, absolute worst matchup. I'm going to play every counter spell in my deck, even though Teferi Time Raveler is legal. Boy, just my luck. Well, we'll get him next game. Alright, welcome back in for round number 2, match number 1. Let's look at our hands, see what we got to work with. Yeah, not too bad. We have Teferi into maybe command later on. So our opponent is going first. We do get to draw. Hopefully we draw some sort of interaction. So we'll go and keep. Got our lands to play all our spells. I thought we were getting to rest. I was going to be very sad. Let's play Hallowed Fountain first. Then we can Legions and the old Gutter Bones. Black White. Tithe Taker. Man, haven't seen that card in a good minute. Whew. Which one do we do, though? Let's go with Tithe Taker. Do we guess right? Nope. But they do have a pretty solid hand, to be honest. Yep, there's a Reap. Probably just bounce this guy. Yep, let's play Teferi, and we will bounce the old Midnight Reaper to his hand. It's not looking good for us. We really need a probably a sweeper of sorts. Did gain some life off of this Teferi and make them replay their Midnight Reaper, which is good. Okay. Let's play Narset. We'll minus. They'll have to attack her. There's the Kaya's Wrath. I think we'll just take the Kaya's Wrath. And we'll play a tap land. Go. So I probably have to swing here, two at us. The Tribunal, Haunted Witness, and some other stuff. There's a Haunted Witness that's going to make a token after it dies so it can get through our Kai's Wrath. Another Haunted Witness. Interesting. White, 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 black, black. Yeah, so let's play this tapped, and then we'll just go ahead and do this. And they'll draw 4 cards, lose 4 life, make 2 1/1s, and we're in a pretty rough spot. Not gonna lie, not looking too good for us in our dinky little control deck here. What we need is another Kaya's Wrath, but they just drew like a bazillion cards, so oh boy. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Interesting card to put in there. On to Witness. Oh, let's play our Narset, take down, look for another Kaya's Wrath. And we'll go say go. What shall you do, opponent? Let's see, they got 5 cards I don't know about. They have the Gutter Bones. There's the Tithe Taker, which also has Afterlife, so that's going to make a Spirit as well. So even if I Kaya's Wrath next turn, they're still going to have 2 flyers. Not looking good. So they probably want to sack some stuff. You should sack your Tithe Taker and Haunted Witness for value. Ooh boy. That's how you say not good. Boy, oh boy. We are not having a good go of it here. So that means this is going to make 4 tokens altogether. Yikes. 3, 4. We have nothing to exile. Boy, this one is a tough one. Well, let's see. I guess we do this first. And we black, black. Let's just see what they're working with. Man, this is tough. What in the heck is this card? Spark Harvest. It's like a 1-mana destroyed creature at Planeswalker in this deck. It's pretty wild. Yeah, toss that. I guess we'll just do it. Ooh, we were hanging on by like a thread. Like a thread. Yep, there's your 4 people. Darn. I don't know if we can win this. These games have been extremely hard for Control. I thought Control would do a little bit better, but my goodness, it is not looking great. Okay, that's a thing, I guess. Now do it for one. Draw a card. Well, we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Yep, to hit us for 4, down to 5. Bring back Gutterbones, play Gutterbones. Vampire of the Dire Moon, not played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we'll just go for it because we're gonna go for it. See what we draw. Land? Ho ho! No, we can't. We can't cast it. Oh no! No! Oh no! We dead. We dead. Ooh. Darn. Well. Welp. Welp. So this exiles black creatures. This exiles creatures. This exiles creatures. And this exiles creatures as well. So then we take out... I don't know what. This card has been extremely uneventful. Extremely. We need to take out 3 more cards. I'm on the play. Yeah, probably keep those in. Exiles. I guess since we're bringing in all this removal, we probably want to go down Akaya's Wrath. And probably a Teferi. And then I'm going to say we go down a land. No, maybe not. We'll go down a Thought Erasure. I'm not a huge fan of Thought Erasure in this matchup. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And we just move on to the next game. But I'm committed to winning at least one match with this deck. I love Control so much, and it just hurts my heart that it sucks. Because Esper HERO is just better because you have a proactive game plan. This one's just like removal. Oh, you made a bunch more stuff than I can remove, and you win. Yep, we're going to keep Scryland into Shockland into Glacial Fortress. Perfect. We do Search into Teferi. Looks good. Well, not so much anymore, but at least they do not have a turn 1 creature. Don't have to worry about killing anything. But I'm sure they will on turn 2. Like a Tithe Taker. Oh, Gutter Bones. Okay, I can dig it. We're going to try to flip this pretty quick, so let's just put that to the bottom, and then we get to play Narset. How many lands are we going to flip this time? How many lands? 2 lands. Okay, well, we have Devout Decree. Let's grab that. We can actually cast it. Hopefully, drawing a land here. And Devout Decree lets us scry as well. This hits basically everything in their deck because most of their creatures are black. That's cool. Not even going after... Okay. Well, that makes sense then now, doesn't it? Got me. Let's put that in the graveyard. Don't need it. Land? Yikes. Well, let's gain some life. I'm all about gaining life right now. This thing can wait. It's about to decree. You'll get your chance. Don't worry. So will all the rest of you. You'll all get a chance to eat. Don't worry. Land. We would enjoy a land. Much so. Thank you very much. Legion's End. Yep. All right. Well. Sorcery? Sure. Well, heh. Maybe I should have. Maybe not. Maybe not. I can't even talk. I'm just babbling to myself. We'll keep it on top in case they draw something cool. I hope you like hearing me babble, because all I do is babble all the time. So they left in conclave tribunals and they took my search. Yikes. Also, missing land drops on a 27 land deck is no fun. Almost as bad as, why do you get to see my hand? Okay, I was gonna say, what? We? I saw them all light up with the eyeball, and I was like, no, 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 you can't see my hand. Not today. Pretty cool they left in conclave tribunals. What you got for me, opponent? Bringing back the old dude. Cool. Well, let's see what you're working with here. Oh boy, another. So they left this in because it kills my planeswalkers. Conclave Tribunal. All right, so we'll just say go. They know our hand. We don't know their hand except for this card. Pretty silly. God Eternal Bantu. What a cool. I love this card. It's super, super good. Spark Harvest. I've never seen anyone run it. Mainly because it's sorcery, and that's not very good. If that was instant, holy moly, that thing would see a ton of play. That thing would be a 4 of in like everybody's deck. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Well, I think we just hang on to our Vraska's Contempts and just 2-for-1 them. Because if they're able to play this God Eternal, it's going to be extremely difficult to get this off the table. There's the Gutter Bones. Legion's End. Well, I think we're going to try to get a 2-for out of them, and if they hit us, bring us down to 15, then they get this back and play it, then we can Legion's End and kill both of them. So we'll see. We'll see. Especially if they don't hit their land drop here. That's the only play that they are going to make. And it's going to play right into our trap card. Haunted Witness. Okay, well, we will Legion's End your Gutter Bones. And we'll say go. We shall say go. Duress. Well, I shouldn't have done that. Crud. Well, at least they're not going to be playing a God Eternal this turn. Don't be a land. Please. Okay. Just a lowly 1/1. Because, oh gosh, if they ever land this, it's going to be very, very hard to win. So now we're hitting on a lot of lands. Well, we'll leave the Narset on top because that thing can find us anything. Could be boat. We don't know. Luckily for us, they haven't hit their 5th land drop yet. As they, okay, I was gonna say, as they play their 5th land and play the Bantu. Narset, what do you got for me? We have a Vraska's Contempt. Okay. Sounds good to me. Land? It is a land. They have double black too. Will you swing first or play your God Eternal? I would assume... Now what they should have done is they should have held the land, swung at Narset, and then I would have had the choice of either let Narset take 2 down to 1 and not be able to replay it, or I lost my train of thought there because I just realized that Pontu can't draw cards without Narset, with a Narset in play. Ay, ay, ay. I am a silly goose, that's for sure. But yes, what they should have done is held the land, swung both at Narset. Then I would have had to choose either let Narset go to 1 where I can't reactivate, or Vraska's Contempt one of them so it's at 2 and I can use its final ability to gain some card advantage. Because right now we are running pretty cool. We're not running hot, we're running cool. We're hanging in there, but it's not looking good for our hero. The old Spark Harvest really got us good. Did not expect to play against this card, but hey. Yep. What you got? Sack, 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 sack. How many are you going to sack? 4? I wish it'd show me what they're targeting. Oh, only 2. Well, that's good for us. Wait till they draw the cards from Vontu before we exile it with Vraska's Contempt. We don't want them to put it second from the top and then, you know, draw it. So now we got a small window to hopefully dodge stuff. Doesn't seem that way. Ugh, man, we were just running so low on removal and they just keep drawing gas. Doesn't hit this. We've been doing so good with taking out their creatures. They just, oh man, they just draw so much good stuff. Not swinging a Midnight Reaper. Scared of Settle the Wreckage, possibly? That could play in our favor. Yikes. My God, can I stop drawing freaking lands? For the love of Pete. Am I dead? I don't even know. Another Spark Harvest. Yeah, we are super dead. Oh my goodness. Whew. We are getting raffle stomped into oblivion. Hey, it would be a really cool idea if you played Control, Ron. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, you should play Control with a bunch of, you know, Teferis and stuff. Sounds like a great idea. I think I'll go and lose every single game. Ah, man. All right. Next game, we're winning. We are winning the next match. Mark my words. Okay. Let's take a breath, take a step back. Let's try to figure this out and win a dang game with this stupid deck. Man, Control is my favorite, and it's letting me down so bad. All right, this hand is complete dumpster fire, so we're going to throw that back. Well, we have 2, 3 into 4 with all of our lands. Let's keep and toss back the old... Well, we'll toss back Godless Shrine, because we have white, black, blue. Okay, sounds good to me, because I'm going to Temple on 1 to try to find our 4th land. We already found our 4th land, so we're looking for spells. Kai's Wrath is fine. That's good, that's good. Rootbound Crag to start, with Gateway Plaza to follow it up. Well, color me confused, because what is going on over here? Leafkin Druid. And a Simic Guildgate. Well then, it's possibly a Field of the Dead deck. It's like, oh, it's, yep, Field of the Dead with Elementals and Golos. Well, I think we're in for a big pile of crap, because I'm going to get stomped into the oblivion against this deck. Oh, baby. Yes. Indeed. Well, let's say go ahead. Don't really want to do anything. We have our Vraska's Contempt. If they play Omnath, we're probably just going to untap Kai's Wrath. Possibly. Sure, you may have a Risen Reef. They got they drew a can't even talk. I'm just like so like flustered. All right, so they got a land into play and they drew a card off of the double trigger here. So let's play. We have white, white, black, black. Yep. So, you know, no better time than the present to wipe the board and then, you know, get Thunderkin Awakened out of this game. God damn it. Man, we are getting really unlucky, but, you know, we're playing a not optimized deck. I thought we could have some fun and like win some games with the old Esper control, but it's not looking too hot for us right now. Wizards hates control to no end, and unfortunately we're getting the you know, we're getting the stick about it. Oh, I don't even know. That's not even a saying. What the hell am I talking about? Well, I'm just doing this because I can do it. But back to my point. Wizards, why do you hate control so much? People complain that it's unfun or whatever, but what if, you know, playing against this card is unfun, or like creatures with these insane, over-the-top, incredible abilities? That, my friend, is no fun. In my mind. It just seems like they only acknowledge players that complain about things not being fun when it's players that play like creatures and they're complaining about how the spells are too good, or the counter spells are too good, or the control decks are too good. And on the other hand, the control players can't really do anything because stuff that's unfun to a control player is, you know, just fine and dandy for everybody else. Which is tough. It's a tough pill to swallow for sure, because I don't think this is fun to play against, but they're never going to do anything about that. And they have increased the power creep over the last few years, so the creatures keep getting more insane and more insane. Like, look at how much text is on this creature. How much text is on this creature? It's crazy. Well, I believe we are dead. So we bring in our Unmoored Egos and pray. That's basically our game plan right now. Yikes. Alright, well, let's bring in our Legion's End. Bring in our Unmoored Egos. Do we bring in our D-Spark? Probably not. We'll take out Finale. Take out Command. We could probably ditch an Oath. And a Teferi. That looks okay. Let's go with that. Because if we don't find our Unmoored Ego, we can pretty much just concede, because we're going to lose. Oh boy. And this is post Rampaging Ferocidon unbanned, so people have huge balls to be playing Field of the Dead right now. As long as they dodge that card, I'm pretty sure they're still favored about everything else. So that's a really good card to play on turn one, especially against an Unmoored Ego possibility out of the sideboard. So very smart on my opponent's part to play that first. Let's just Teferi. I'm going to draw because I want to hopefully draw a land, which I don't. All right. Hopefully we can draw a land next turn. Leafkin Druid. Let's plus. And we'll just say go. Let's just say go. Why is there... So the weird part is it's like an Elementals deck with Golos, but it's like it has the Thunderkin thing, which is very strange. The old Golos. Well, that's a pain in the butt. Probably should have Legion's End on my turn. Oh, we got another card out of their hand. It's not looking good for our hero. Yikes! They have a lot going on right now. Well, hopefully we draw a black source, which we didn't. Yay! Crud. We are not. It is not looking good. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna use my mana efficiently. I think we need to run 30 lands like they are. Oh my goodness. They'll probably just plus. I don't see the reason why they would minus, to be honest. That's good for us. Yep, that's done. Land. Holy shites. Holy shit, man. We are getting destroyed. Oh boy. Well. Let's go ahead and get that there. There's no way to shut this off though once they get one in play, which is brutal. They're gonna make a dude. See, I don't understand the unclaimed territory with this card. But who am I to judge? A black source would be unbelievably perfect. Holy moly, we actually drew it. Oh, thank you. Okay, well, they're going to get 2 more zombies. We got to hang on to this thing as long as possible. What else we got here? Nothing. Well, let's take a look at what you're working with here. Veil of Summer. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Yikes, man. Veil of Summer? What's with all these Veil of Summers? Wild, man. Wild. I'm just getting crapped on, man. I wish this video was better. I wish we could win some games. It'd be a little more exciting, but my goodness, we are getting raffle stomped. This should be just okay. This is a PSA. Do not play Esper Control. I repeat, do not play Esper Control. It is not fun. It is not fun. Yeah, this isn't looking great. Not looking great indeed. We have no land destruction, so this card is just pretty heinous. They're gonna get what? Another Field of the Dead? Oy, oy, oy. Or not. Leaf Kindred. What's your last card? We don't know. We are trying our best. We really need a Liliana. Like a Liliana right now would really seal this up. We have a shot, but a very not great shot. We need a Liliana off the top. But man, our lack of drawing cards is a little rough. 10? What the fuck? Holy shit, man. That's crazy. What the hell just happened? Okay. After a thrilling 3 rounds, we have come to the conclusion that Esper is not as good as I anticipated it would be. Excuse my language, but my goodness, did that suck. That did not feel good, and I did not have any fun. But no, for real, this deck on paper has so much potential. It has everything that you would want out of a control deck. You have a 4-mana sweeper, you have semi-good card advantage spells, you have really good exiling abilities for some of these resilient threats, and you have really, really good planeswalkers and really good top end with Liliana and Command the Dreadhorde. It was very unfortunate that we got paired up against a counterspell deck, a flash deck, and then we got paired up against the resilient creature deck, the black-white aristocrat style deck, and then we kind of got janked out of the last round with the huge Hour of Devastation to end the game pretty quickly. The Field of the Dead I knew was going to be an issue. Our opponent realized that we were going to probably bring in Unmoored Ego, and they played their Field of the Dead early. So, unfortunate, but I knew that matchup was going to be tough, and actually all three matchups were very, very hard and not close to being winnable, to be honest, in a lot of our games. So we kind of got behind early, and then it just kind of cascaded out past that point. But overall, I still like this deck. I think, well, I know that the hero version is 10 times better. You have a lot of the same type of spells, like you have Teferi and Narset and Oath of Kaya, but you also have Hero Precinct 1 and Elite Vanguard, or whatever it is, the flying guy, that allows you to pressure the board, block some of these creatures, you know, build up a board yourself to win the game instead of just trying to remove everything and relying on just your planeswalkers, which, you know, as you can tell, it doesn't really end up being that great. So I think if you want to play Esper and it's something that you really enjoy and it's your favorite, you know, combination of colors, I would move more towards BBD or Brian Bronduin's Esper Hero deck. He's been playing the deck since its inception, basically, and he's really fine-tuned it up into this point to be a real contender in every tournament that he's played so far. He's almost won almost every Fandom Legends event. So I would steer you toward his Esper Hero list. Just follow what he's doing. He's very smart. He's very good at what he does, and his list is very, very good. This list, on the other hand, is a fun list. It's should have been fun to play, but unfortunately for the matchups we got, it wasn't that fun. But I still like the archetype. I'm still a control player, and I love blue. So, you know, what are you going to do? Thank you so much for watching. I'm so sad we couldn't get more than, you know, one win the entire 3 matches. But hey, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you just want to laugh at me or tell me that, you know, I knew this deck was bad. Or just leave me a comment, tell me how I can improve or what decks I should be playing if I want to win more or have more fun. Hit that like button, definitely helps out a lot. I hope that next time we play, we will get a lot more wins and it'll be a lot more enjoyable for you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, Magic is great, and so are you. Stay positive and play Islands.